It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Didn't have things set up quite right, did I? So anyway, that's normal. Saturday morning. Good morning for travel and cruise industry news on this, the 28th day of March, 2020. A lot of stuff to cover this morning, but first, and one of the most important things is happy anniversary to our friend Tom and his lovely wife Cindy. It's their anniversary today. She's been putting up with him for a lot of years, a lot of years. Poor Cindy. We feel sorry for Cindy. Anyway, happy anniversary, Tom. Good morning, everybody. I see Bonnie's with us, Jason's with us. So happy Saturday morning to each one of you guys. And so just so you'll know, as we go through this morning, some of you may see some strangeness happening in the chats, as I have asked Tom and also Bonnie if she can, because she's actually on YouTube this morning, which she was having some trouble getting on YouTube broadcast the last couple times. But anyway, we're going to try some maybe some uploading of pictures in the chat this morning to do a couple things. One, to see if I see them in my chat here, number one, and then if I can use them while I'm live. And I have no idea on either score. I've got some ideas of doing some silliness while we're all in the semi-quarantine situation, just to pass some time. Tom says there's no paste available on Facebook. Okay, well, that's good to know. Again, I'm playing if something would work out. We'll see. But if it doesn't, then I'll come up with another plan of attack. All right. If you're new to this channel, we do some silliness with travel and cruise industry all the time. That's the main topic here. We regularly post videos on all facets of the cruise industry. So if you'd like to keep up with ports of call, with cruises, with cruise ships, we do our news show, Travel and Cruise Industry News, on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. And then my interview show called Chillie Chats, which can be scheduled anytime when it's got somebody to come on. So anyway, if you're new, welcome aboard. Please hit the subscribe button down there in the lower right-hand corner, and the bell notification will let you know when I go live or when something new is posted in the way of videos, and you'll keep up with all the silliness that we get out here. So, and always, we appreciate thumbs up anytime you want to give them to us. Tina Turtle, that's Tina Turtle back there in the background. Where is this finger? Right there. That's Tina Turtle. Tina Turtle prefers the thumbs up. I don't care. If you want to give me thumbs down, that's cool too. Anyway, if you guys missed yesterday's chat with Pete Hall from Cruises for Solos, boy, what a great interview that was, even though it got screwed up at the end as we lost the signal. Thankfully, just as I was getting ready to close the broadcast out, but it got screwed up and I got blanked out. My signal lost totally, and poor Pete was standing there talking to himself for about 10 minutes, didn't know what to do. So I went back in once I got the signal back and all that business and edited him out. I felt sorry for Pete because it really left him stuck. He didn't know. He's over there in England, didn't have a clue how my system works. So anyway, but it's a great interview. So if you didn't get to see it yesterday, you'll want to watch that. That was fun. Pete's a great guy, and tomorrow he's doing a broadcast over there, and he's right outside of London in the British Isles tomorrow afternoon. I think it's 2 o'clock our time, which he opens up to his community for anyone that has problems, especially they're in even a harder situation than we are as far as lockdowns and quarantines and stuff in the British Isles. But if you got folks over there that are having trouble getting food or getting medications or any of that stuff, the cruise family is willing to jump in and help out any way they can. So it gives a platform for folks to come in and maybe just talk about cruises, because you like to talk about cruises. You like to think about something pleasant. Although there's too many stories that recently have not been very pleasant. So, all right, let's get to the stories this morning. The Zaandam, I guess by now everybody's heard of this. And wow, my story is not coming up on my phone. Huh, that's interesting. I wonder why that's happening. So let's see. We're going to have to do this a little differently this morning, folks. Okay, there we go. Now I'm back to regard. Talking about the Zaandam. All right. They unfortunately had 4 deaths night before last. And some COVID-19 positive tests. So there's a possibility of a week-long quarantine off the coast of Panama. But the Zaandam is planning today to transfer hundreds of passengers to its sister ship, the Rotterdam, with apparently little more than a temperature scan to determine if the folks are healthy that are getting transferred to the other ship. Now, they had 4 passengers passed away aboard the Zaandam, and my understanding is that they are all senior citizens. While it was awaiting permission to transit the Panama Canal, and with 150 people sick with flu-like symptoms, not tested positive, but flu-like symptoms. And that was according to Holland America, which of course is owned by Carnival. The deaths were announced by the captain Friday afternoon, along with 2 passengers that have tested positive. Now, the Zaandam has been in a mess this whole time. It originally left Buenos Aires back on March the 7th with 1,243 passengers and 586 crew on a 2-week cruise. Currently, it's anchored off of Panama because when everything shut down, then they started having problems getting into any ports. And then they had some people sick. So the plan was to get through the Panama Canal. They have supplies, but not enough fuel. And apparently they can get fueled in the Panama Canal. But it was turned away from all kinds of destinations. Now, Panama is refusing them entry into the Panama Canal because of the reported cases on the ship. So they're stuck. Hey, Gene, come here. Excuse me a minute, folks. I've got to take care of some business here. And if Stanley finishes mowing, give him that for me. Okay. Thank you. We're taking care of a little business here. In case you can hear it in the background, this is my first day that I don't have to mow the 8.5 acres for the last 150 years I've been mowing, I think, something like that. So I've got a crew now to mow to give me a break. So he came today for the first time mowing. So anyway, so the Panama Canal has blocked the Zaandam from going in. And according to the Panama Canal, all ships transiting the canal require personnel, including line handlers, boarding officers, Panama Canal pilots, to board the ship, and they don't want to put them at risk. So those protocols are in place to safeguard the Panama Canal customers and workforce. That was a statement from the Panama Canal. Now, so the Rotterdam was sent to take supplies and to take tests for COVID-19. And so they met up out there near the Panama Canal someplace and did the exchange. Well, then it was put on a hold there when the Zaandam couldn't go on. So we're not real sure what's going to happen. Supposedly the passengers, the healthy passengers on the Zaandam are going to get transferred to the Rotterdam, and the Rotterdam's going to try to get them through the Panama Canal and back to Fort Lauderdale to get off the boat. Now, they haven't said what's going to happen to the sick passengers and the crew on the Zaandam that's stuck out there now and can't go through the Panama Canal. So this one's still a big mess. It goes along with all the garbage we've been going through for, since this whole business that started on the cruise ships, and it just seems to continue. So, all right, we got a whole bunch of comments. Let's check those before I go on. Let's see, Joyce and Bonnie. Yeah, bless Cindy's heart for putting up with Tom. Boy, I agree with that. And we can't do the no pasting that's working, so we can't do the pictures. Okay, well, it was worth a good try. Thank you for trying, guys. Jason says he feels bad for the people on the Zaandam. Boy, so do I. It's very sad. So, we've got somebody new here. Der Hiking Mutiny. Any possible COVID-19 on board? Yeah, we know there's two that are on board. So we've got a new person in the audience today, folks. Welcome aboard, Der Hiking Mountie. We're some crazy folk here, as you're going to see. Maybe you know some of these guys from other things, but. And there's Gretchen. Gretchen, glad you're back with us again. So we got a whole gang today. That's great. Glad to have you guys, folks. All right, before I go on to the next little story this morning, let's pause for a quick word. Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Scootaround. For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Scootaround for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise. Okay, and you can probably hear the mowers in the background. So spring is definitely upon us, folks. And sorry about the noise in the background, but that happens Saturday morning in the spring. Can happen anytime. So anyway, I don't know. Normally I put my stories up on my phone and they're not going through. Show images. It's not coming up. So I've got some signal problems now with my phone. Oh well. Okay, so who knows what's going to happen with the Zaandam? That's just a mess. I mean, they've got to transport the bodies. I don't know what to. That's just awful. So, all right, that is the ship from the medical ship from Norfolk. The Comfort, NSPS Comfort, that is it's on its way to New York. It's to sail, probably has sailed from Norfolk this morning, going to New York to, of course, help in the situation with the COVID-19 up there. The Comfort was going to be based in Brooklyn, I believe it is. So Thursday night the ship will arrive in it's going to Miami. To Manhattan. We'll dock at Pier 90 in Manhattan. If Pier 90 sounds familiar, that's where Norwegian occasionally docks its vessels during the cruise season. And the Comfort, I didn't realize this. The Comfort was an oil tanker originally before it was turned into a hospital ship. So the Comfort is on its way to New York to help out. The other New York story had to do with Brooklyn, and that is the cruise port in Brooklyn is going to be turned into a hospital for the time being. So, and again, folks, my apologies for the mowers. It's up actually right outside my windows right now. So I'm sure that's making some noise in the background. But anyway, the government is taking over the cruise port in Brooklyn and turning it into a hospital to give them more coverage in that area. The Brooklyn Cruise Terminal is mainly used by Cunard's line for the Queen Mary II ocean liner. There's no word yet on whether the government is going to use cruise ships as had been offered by Carnival and several of the other cruise lines. So that takes care of that story. The other thing, and it's also another sad story to report. The president of MSC Spain, Emiliano Gonzalez, apparently MSC Cruises is split up by country, and Mr. Gonzalez was president of MSC Cruises in Spain, and he has passed away at age 69 from COVID-19. So, again, I don't know what's going to happen with this, folks. I don't see any signs that things are getting any better. Costa Cruise Lines, of course, has expanded their suspension, their voluntary suspension now until May the 1st. Carnival was supposed to make an announcement on Friday. For some reason, they put it off until Monday. I'm not sure why. They don't have any choice. I mean, there's absolutely no way the cruise lines can sail any ships anytime soon. It's just not going to happen. Number one, people can't get to the cruises to get on them if they would want to. And I think there's going to be a major issue with public relations with the cruise lines for a long time. The cruise industry could massively change, folks. I hate to say that. But I think they're going to be in some serious trouble. They're probably not going to get this money that they had hoped to and was initially promised because of the issues of the cruise companies not being U.S. corporations. And because of that, they don't pay quote unquote corporate taxes. I mean, they still have, hundreds of thousands of employees that pay taxes. They still have all kinds of property that they own and they pay taxes to that, but they're not U.S. Corporations and paying U.S. corporate taxes. And there's an element in the government that's all been out of shape over that. So they're probably not going to get any of the bailout money, as if you want to call it a bailout, which would have probably been loan guarantees at all, So, but I don't think that's going to come. So I think they're in trouble. And I think I was looking. I said yesterday when on the broadcast with Pete, I was seeing some cruises for less than down $50 a day and stuff like that, folks. I mean, that's just insane. Now I realize we can't go cruising now, so what does it matter that there's a cruise for $50? You can't go get on it. But I think for next year, I got a feeling that they're going to have to start doing some massive discounting to attract people back to the industry once we get through all this stuff. So anyway, Jason says that Tina Turtle is not impressed. Tina Turtle is not impressed at all with the mowing going on right outside her window, and she doesn't like the fact that all that noise is happening. She tells me she's whispering in my ear back there that she tells me she's upset over the noise. So, Jason, you're absolutely right on that. Let's see what else said. I hope the poor people get off the ship. Yeah, boy, it's what a mess. It just keeps going on. I mean, it's one right after another. It's been something screwy like this for 6 weeks now. So, anyway, that covered all the stories I had this morning, even though I could not get my phone to work, and I'm not sure why that happened. So anything major happens over the weekend, folks, I'll get back on the line as quickly as possible. Thank you guys for trying to do some pictures in chat, and that didn't work. I'm sorry to hear that. So I'll come up with another plan of attack on figuring out how to do what I was wanted to do. But anyway, you guys all have a great weekend. And as always, be good to each other and be good at everything you do, and stay safe, folks, and stay healthy. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday, if not beforehand. This is Chillie, the Fat Travel Guy. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you for watching today's Travel and Cruise Industry News. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chillie's Cruises.